Internet! I'm Elliot the Purple-Haired Doofus, and welcome back to The House of Leaves by Mark Danielewski. Maybe I got that right? Maybe? Getting better? No? Oh. Sorry. Today we're covering chapters 5 and 6. I hope you've read up to that point because I don't want to ruin anything for you. Chapter 5 begins with the mythology of the Greek goddess Echo. Trust me, I think it seems nonsensical right now, but it starts to make sense soon. Basically, it's talking about how Echo came to be, what exactly Echo is, how she is in relation to other gods and goddesses. Then...
Hey there! Remember me? Me? Johnny? Me? This section right here is all about me. Cause I'm awesome. It's me. Me. Pay attention to me. Me. Look at me. Hey, me. You have to pay attention to me. I'm the most important person in this book. Me! Oh, keep reading.
Then it starts talking about a point that I made in the last video, where I reminded you that the person who wrote this transcript about the Navidson report is blind. And the reason that he's talking about the goddess Echo is because he wants to talk to you about echoes. And he wants to talk to you about how bats use echoes to see the world. Because that's pretty much how he sees the world. Pretty much what he is saying is that he was able to watch this movie because he could hear the echoes of the voices in the walls of the house and figure out the dimensions of the rooms.
So, like, the craziest thing happened to me. Me. See, like, me. This person here was walking down the street and saw a dark figure, and I think it's following me. So, screw all that Navidson crap. Me, I'm important. Pay attention to me, Johnny. Me. Fine, go back to the Navidson report. Whatever.
Zampano even goes so far as to give you the actual formula for figuring out the dimensions using echoes. It's just very incredibly scientific, and I kind of wish that he would go back to just telling the story of the Navidsons in the household.
I get the distinct feeling that you're not paying attention to me. So here's 3 more pages all about me. And me. And me. And you know what? I'm falling in love with a girl. She's a stripper. And you know, I'm going to use some fruitful language to talk about her. And if you don't like this fruitful language, well, you're a cold-hearted bastard. Yeah. If you don't like romance and love in books, or you just have a heart full of ice, jerk.
Then the book gets to this point where I'm starting to think that maybe there should have been a chapter break there. Like maybe I should be covering chapters 5, 6, and 7.
Or maybe 5, 5.5,
6. It's structured like there should be a chapter break there. There's just no number, and it's weird. But then again, the whole rest of this book is weird too. But after this supposed chapter break, we get back to the story of the house and how it's expanding on the inside. And we get the entrance of a new character named Reston. And Reston is a handicapped man in a wheelchair. And Reston is there to help Tom and Navy go into the house, or go into the dark hallway.
So for all those people who appreciate the Navidson report better than me, which is like, not an idea. Well, like, so I talked to this lady, right, who helped this dude, like, write this book, or type it, and she was saying that he writes like a freshman, and I was like, I know, right?
When Reston shows up, Tom decides that his job is done, and he splits from his brother Navy. Navy says, I hope we get to talk again soon, and Tom says, I have a phone. Navy says, you sure do! That's pretty much where that ends. After Tom leaves, Navy and his wife Karen talk less and less, actually. They seem to create more distance between themselves. And while they're doing that, there's a scene where the children are screaming. Navy runs to find the children and finds them in this dark hallway in the house. It's the 5-minute hallway from the short film at the beginning of the book. It's at this moment that we find out that Karen suffers from crippling claustrophobia. When she looks into that dark hallway and can't see anything, she freaks out. A lot of the footnotes from Zampino, not from the asshole, are kind of going over Karen's psychosis and giving you references for claustrophobia. There's even one footnote that's a nearly 2-page bibliography of all the different people that have written about Karen's claustrophobic reaction to seeing the 5-minute hallway. I didn't read every single name, but it's there. Then there's this incredibly touching moment where Karen is talking to her son Chad, and Chad says, "You know, Mommy, if I grow up to be president, could you be my vice president?" And it's so... aww. Karen and Chad for president! Woo! It's at this point where Navidson decides that he's going to put a large steel door over the hallway. It's not really his decision, it's more Karen's decision, and he does it to comfort her. He really wants to go into that hallway. He really wants to explore what's inside. He wants to do it so badly that one night he actually does, in a drunken stupor where he was told to sleep on the couch. And he goes into the dark hallway and he gets lost. He starts turning ways. He starts putting his hand on a wall and trying to walk a certain amount, but then it opens up to another doorway, and he finds that he's lost in this pitch black maze of a hallway. Navy scrambles to get out, and the only reason he's able to is because Daisy starts crying because she had a nightmare. He runs out of the hallway eventually, locks up the door, and Karen asks what's going on, and he says, "Oh, it's nothing. Daisy had a nightmare. Everything's all good right now." And Karen is none the wiser.
Hey, you're not paying attention to me! Hey, look at me, look at me, look at me! So, like, I was at the tattoo parlor where I work, and, like, I was in this dark room, like, building needles and stuff. And, well, I thought this thing was following me. So I was hurrying with the needles, and I accidentally fell down the stairs, because I was scared crapless. And, well, there's ink and needles everywhere, and people were, like, trying to help me up with stuff. But I thought there was this creature that was behind me and following me. You know, the one that I said was following me? Yeah, because it's all about me. Me. Well, anyways, the editor thinks that maybe you might want to read the letters my mother wrote me when I was a kid to get inside my psyche. Because why wouldn't you? It's about me. Hello. So if you want to read those letters, they're right here. And even though Elliot hates me, he really suggests that you read those letters, because they're, well, Elliot says that they're beautiful. I think they're really depressing, but they're here, so you can read them, or watch Elliot talk about them. But you should read them before you do that. But, because, you know, me!
Navidson is sitting at the kitchen table at the end of the chapter, and Daisy walks up and she says, "You know, Daddy, can we play a game?" Navidson says, "Sure, I'd love to play a game with my sweetie. What do you want to play?" And she says, "I want to play Always." The writer makes the illusion that most people believe she's saying, "I always want to play with my daddy." But she could also be saying, "I want to play Hallways," which is kind of terrifying because that's how he got stuck in the 5-minute hallway. Meaning, she most likely got stuck in there too. The next chapter begins talking about animals, and talking about the two pets that the Navidson family has, a cat and a dog, and how the dog started out as a puppy at the beginning of the movie and ended up a full-grown dog by the end, and the cat just kind of disappeared without any mention of how or why.
You know, it's funny that Manzano talks about animals, because me, and animals, I think I'm being followed by one. It's big and dark and scary. Arr! Look at me! Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me! Me! Should all appreciate this face. Because it's beautiful. And it's awesome. And me! I think I'm done. I think that's enough. Go on with your reading. Fooled you. That's the end of the chapter. Meeeee. Me!
Oh dear God, Johnny, are you done yet? You are? Oh. Hi. So, that pretty much finishes this section of the book so far. Things are starting to get crazy. I've looked ahead. They're only going to get crazier. Tomorrow we'll be covering chapters 7 and 8. Trust me, we cannot cover any more. The question that I have for you today, let me think. When was a memorable time that you got lost? Doesn't have to be the last time, although that's probably the most memorable. But when was a memorable time that you got lost? And I will answer that for you tomorrow. Today, I have the question of what is a fictional movie or fictional TV show that you would love to see? And there are so many. There's the sitcom from Jessica Jones. There's Hello, Megan from Young Justice. But the one that's on top of my mind right now, there's this new show on Sci-Fi called Channel Zero. They're covering a show or a story from Creepypasta about a children's television show called Candle Cove. This children's show turns kids into murderers. There's nothing actually malicious about the actual content of the show. It just sounds slightly off. The way that they describe it and the small little clips that they show during the Channel Zero episodes just really piqued my interest. So I would love to see that. That's all I have for you today. I hope you're watching that extra special video, because I worked a little too long on that one, and I did it before I started recording this one. So I'm a little drained. Just a tiny bit. I have been the Purple Hair Doofus, reminding you to watch your pajama radius, and I will see you all in the next chapters of The House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. Toodles!